going on, guys? Arms Forum coming at you guys today with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about the Detroit Lions rookie minicamp that just kind of wrapped up over the weekend. It was like a two-day minicamp. So this is what we pretty much learned. Wide receiver Jameson Williams is getting involved. You know, he's walking around with a football in his hands. He wasn't participating. Neither was James Mitchell, the fifth-round pick out of Virginia Tech, the tight end. I think he was participating a little bit, but not 100%. But Jameson was engaged. You seen him out there. He was smiling. He was like a cheerleader out there. Just getting involved, asking the right questions, just doing all the right things. Even in the meeting room, I guess Dan Campbell said that he's on top of everything. He's asking really good questions, and he's super engaged. But you can see how much of a shy kid he is when he talks, because when you watched all the interviews, kind of after everything kind of wrapped up, I seen all the interviews of the 8 guys we drafted, and you could just tell Jameson is a shy kid. You could just tell he was more upbeat when he was talking, but you could just see it when he's got the hair in his eyes. He's a shy kid, but he was engaged. He was talking. He was joking around with some of the guys. So you like to see that, man. And the kid's happy to be here. Also, UDFA tight end Derek Deese, a guy that I kind of liked, was sidelined too, undisclosed. Not too sure why, if he was injured, but he just wasn't out there participating. So he was out there too. And then he had outside linebacker edge James Houston, 6th-round pick out of Jackson State, is playing linebacker for the Lions right now. Okay, that's where he was. He did have some reps close to the line of scrimmage, but he's pretty much majority of his reps were off-ball linebacker. So he was also with the linebacker group during positional drills too as well. And Calvin Shepard, who's our outside linebacker coach, was really constantly, I guess, in Houston's ear during some 7-on-7s, I believe, or just positional drills altogether. Is it a good or bad thing? The way I read it, it just seemed more like Shepard was, in his ear, pretty much because just trying to get him more, just trying to get him more acclimated to the NFL. Because we all know James Houston played 3 years at linebacker at Florida. And then he moved to defensive end edge as a Jackson State guy for Deion Sanders over there. So it had a great, phenomenal season, like 16 and a half sacks. Pretty much got him drafted because of that, I think. And now he's back to playing linebacker in the NFL. And it's something that I think he always wanted to do, because if you guys follow these guys like I do, and I'm sure you do. There's a clip out there about Jackson State and Deion Sanders, what's going on. When James Houston came over to Jackson State, immediately Prime saw something, and his coaches saw something in him and go, okay, we're gonna make this kid an edge rusher. And he became their best pass rusher. So they saw something, and James Houston was kind of reluctant, kind of didn't want to do it. He did not want to go to edge. It seemed like, if you watch the clip, it's another coach, I can't remember his name, James Houston and Deion Sanders in a room. It's kind of like a Hard Knock style. They did like a piece, like they're doing something on Jackson State and Deion Sanders. So they showed those 3 guys kind of talking, and you could tell that James Houston wasn't all about it. He was just kind of like, man, you guys are kind of like capping me on my talent. He's like, I think I can do more than that. And then what's his name? Deion Sanders straight up tells him, listen, man, he tells him the professional way, like a way a coach should talk to a kid. Told him, listen, man, if you were doing all those things like you were doing, like you think you're doing, like you think you're this really good linebacker, you wouldn't be at Jackson State. And he's telling him, and he's saying it in a way where it's not arrogant, it's not mean, it's not anything like that. He's just straight up telling him the truth. He's like, you wouldn't be here, man. You'd be still balling, or that you'd be like a high draft pick somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, you were a linebacker. We think you're better over here playing defensive end edge. You're not going to start as a linebacker on Jackson State. This is what we want you to do. It's either you do it or you don't. It's totally up to you. But he's like, you have to either listen or you don't. It's just that simple. So they kind of make it's not really an agreement because the kid doesn't have a choice. He has to listen to his coaches. But he always wanted to be, my whole point is he always wanted to be a linebacker, I think, in the NFL. He said he loves playing linebacker. So what he's playing here is really playing that Sam or Will outside. I don't really know where he's going to be playing, but he's playing linebacker right now with some pass rush ability. So got the versatility. But Kelvin Sheppard, I guess, was in his year a lot. So he's obviously making maybe some mistakes, trying to correct them, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. He's got to get him used to it. So, and I guess another 6th-round pick, the guy that we took out of Oklahoma State, Malcolm Rodriguez, he barely got any attention from Kelvin Sheppard. He was just kind of like, it looked like, I think this was from Jeremy Reisman. He said that apparently Rodriguez got Sheppard's. He trusted him right off the bat. He was answering his questions. He didn't really have to get in his ear and tell him how to be a linebacker. Didn't really tell him what he needs to see from him. So that's a good thing too. So that's a really good thing because I think this Malcolm Rodriguez kid's going to be a steal. I just have a feeling he's going to be a steal. And I'm not saying Malcolm Rodriguez is 100% better than James Houston, but I just think Malcolm Rodriguez has been playing linebacker for the past year or two because he was a safety at Oklahoma State. Don't forget that. 2-3 years he played safety there. So then he started just playing linebacker. So he's kind of fairly new to that too. So, but I think he's got it more down. It's basically what I'm trying to say. I'm babbling like an idiot, but that's basically what I'm trying to say. Is that Malcolm Rodriguez has pretty much got it down pat of what they think they want in a linebacker. And I think that James Houston's going to take a little more developing. And it kind of showed from what I'm hearing and listening. So then they did the 7-on-7 drills. They continue with that. And quarterback Connor Sampson, that's a kid that they took out of, I think he's Western Illinois, I want to say. He had to tuck the ball in on one play because the coverage was so good. Got a bunch of rah-rahs, got a bunch of cheers from the linebacking core, which is a good thing. Houston did make a nice play, though, where he dropped into coverage, kind of slipped. But he got 2 hands on the ball, but dropped the interception. But, he made a play, stopped the ball from getting completed. So that's always a good thing right there, too. And I guess Aiden Hutchinson looked the part, looked really great, showing bend, motor, and speed. There wasn't really written a lot about Aiden. It didn't seem like there was a lot written about him, but from what I can find, there's only a few things I could find about this. But I guess he just looked the part. He looked really good, man. He's bigger, and he's gained an inch. He's gained an inch since being drafted. He was 6'6". Now all of a sudden this kid's 6'7". So he's gained an inch, and whatever. I guess he's gotten a little bit taller. So who knows? Joshua Paschal, the kid that we drafted in the 2nd round from Kentucky, I believe, is a different breed altogether. He's a different kind of defensive end. He's going to win on the inside. I don't know if he's going to win a lot on the outside of the tackle. Maybe if they push him in the inside of the tackle too, but he's a big defensive end in my opinion, and that's what he calls himself too. This kid's game is inside versus the guards. That's when you watch this kid on tape, he murders guards, and I guess you could see it out in that first rookie minicamp. He's not all together. Doesn't have the bend. Doesn't have the speed to get it on the edge. But he does have a good motor, though. But he's a guy that's going to beat up on guards. But but Hutchinson and Paschal were both on the sides doing reps because it was rookie camp too. So there were some guys there, but the vets weren't in there yet. And then I guess quarterback Chase Lucas, 7th-round pick out of Arizona State, pretty much played as a nickel corner and felt really comfortable. I think I remember reading an article on him a little bit ago, maybe a week or two ago, or just after he was drafted, that he said he felt really comfortable inside playing. He's been outside. He has played the outside corner. He didn't give up a touchdown in 2021. So this could be a kid that, who knows, he has a slight ability. He's a smaller guy. I think he's going to have a tough time making this team, but I think he's got the smarts to do it. Came from a pretty good school too as well. Back to quarterback, Connor Sampson. from Western Illinois, a Belleville, Michigan native, by the way, too. Displayed a strong arm and a tight spiral. I guess he looked really good. Accuracy was a bit off, but got some new weapons out there. You're not used to throwing to some guys, so but I guess he looked the part. He's a decent sized kid too, at like 6'3", 215, 220, whatever he is. Not mobile though whatsoever, but he does have a big arm. And then another UDFA, I guess, looked good too. Running back Greg Bell looked sharp as well. Top priority, man. He was a guy that they gave $100,000 guaranteed to. He undressed James Houston and Malcolm Rodriguez, our two 6th-round linebackers, on a special teams play. Didn't look too good for those guys, but it looked really good for Greg Bell. So you like to see that in drills too as well. And then I guess another UDFA that was looking good too as well was wide receiver Khalil Pimpton. I just did a video on him not too long ago. Looked good running routes, but is very small. Looks really small out there, but looks like a football player with the ball in his hands. Looked fast too, I guess. So that's really, really good. And that's kind of all that I have read. If I missed anything, I'm sorry, guys, but this is kind of what I read on the rookie mini camps. I did see some of the interviews with Aiden, Joshua Paschal, Malcolm Rodriguez, Chase Lucas, who else? Aiden Hutchinson, whatever. Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Paschal, Kirby Joseph, Malcolm, James Houston, James Mitchell. There's a couple more. Chase Lucas, and then there was someone else. I can't think, but there was like 7 or 8 that I watched. And they were like maybe 5 to 6 minute clips, and they were pretty good. Nothing really stood out. Jameson was really engaged in his talks. He seems like he's a shy kid. He's just a shy kid, but he was engaged. He was talking. He's got his hair in his eyes. You can just tell that he's a shy kid, man. But his play is on the field, and he was happy to be on the field just to put his cleats on. That's what he said. So. And then Aiden, Aiden's pretty professional. He wasn't really saying anything that kind of stood out. Malcolm Rodriguez seemed like a guy that I think that the fans are going to really like. I like what he was saying, man. I just like some of the things he's saying. He's a gamer. He works hard. You could just tell. James Houston, from what I got from him, it seems like he's got a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't think he should have been a 6th-round pick. I know a lot of these kids think that as well, But this kid's got a legit chip on his shoulder. You can just tell. All these guys want to do, like these late round guys especially, they know what their role is going to be. Special teams first, and then you work your way into position. Malcolm Rodriguez said it. James Mitchell kind of was alluding. He didn't really say it too much, James Mitchell. James Mitchell was talking about his versatility. He wasn't really doing much, but I think he was moving around a bit the last couple of days, but not a lot. He's not ready to really be 100%, and Jameson Williams is not even close right now. So getting closer, but just not for a couple more months. It seems like for at least Jameson Williams. But yeah, and Chase Lucas, man, he was really engaging too. See, he had a really good personality. Had the Detroit Tigers hat on. He was playing the role. He was saying how comfortable he felt playing nickel, and he was praising up Aubrey Pleasant and Aaron Glenn. So really like to hear that. And Josh Paschal, man, when he was talking, I kind of got teared up, man, when he was talking, to tell you the truth. He was talking about how he fought cancer back in 2018 and how he was his last thing on his mind was football. He was trying to survive, man. He was trying to survive, and his teammates really said he said his teammates really helped him push through and fight cancer. And he didn't think he was ever going to play football again. A lot of people don't think that either. He was out to prove everybody wrong. Fought cancer, man, beat it. Now he's a professional football player, a 2nd-round pick, which is completely amazing. And I know I kind of critiqued that pick, and there still is a little bit in me that does critique the pick, that I thought it was a little bit too early for him. But you got to love the kid, man. I fell in love with the kid, the way he talked. He's a leader. You could tell right away. He doesn't seem like a rookie whatsoever. Doesn't look like one either. What was interesting too about what he said too, besides all that the cancer stuff, was just it hit me right. It pulled right on the heartstrings. But he was saying about, like, I was reading some stuff that Apparently, there was a rumor that the Lions were going to ask him to bulk up to about 290, 295. I read that in an article and I heard it on the radio. He didn't nix that, but they did ask him a question. They go, like, what do you think you can hold on your body? Like, how much weight? Right now, he said he was about 273, 275. He said he doesn't really feel comfortable going too much over 280. So whatever those reports are that I read and heard, doesn't really sound like that's going to come around. If it is, then they have a problem on their hands because I don't think he wants to go over 280. But I'm not saying he's going to start trouble because the kid doesn't seem like that, man. He's just he'll do anything the team asks. But when you come out and say, man, I don't really want to go over 280, don't really force the kid to go over 280, man. Don't do it. It's just simple. Like, yeah, you have to do what the coaches say. I get all that, man. But you have to be careful when it comes to weight and like body types and stuff like that, man. You can't make guys put on too much weight. You know what I mean? A little weight's okay, but you just got to be careful with that. So I got a really good feel from Paschal. I got a good feel from everybody that talked. I got a good feel from all the guys that talked. Mal, 7, 8 of them, whatever, how much we drafted. They all said the right things. Houston I got a real special feeling from Houston, not thinking he's going to be a great football player, but I just love the chip on his shoulder. I love that. And it kind of got me fired up for the season. Just listening to him because he says, I know I'm better than where I went. He goes, I should have went day one. You know what I mean? I should have been gone, but it is what it is. This is what happens. So this is fine. So he says he's got a chip on his shoulder, and I love it. So this is probably too long of a video, but thanks a lot, guys. That's the rookie minicamp wrapped up. I guess camp's going on right now. I'll be doing this. I got all kinds of stuff to still go on. I still got to talk about UDFAs. I still got to talk about some deeper dive into some of the players and some of our draft guys. I haven't really even talked about Jameson Williams too much, so I can't wait to do that. That's all. A lot of stuff's coming on the horizon, guys. It's just my schedule, so we'll do that and everything. It'll be fun, man. So thanks for the video, guys. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, get all my videos, and like and comment. Let's talk about the rookie minicamp. Looks like we got some ballers, guys, man. I'm getting excited for the season. I'm starting to fill up the cup, but I don't want to drink it just yet. Go Lions. Let's go. Boom.